Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Azriq bin Roslan, and in this video I will give some tutorial on how to use the UniMAP SLT calculator version 1.0. Okay, when you first receive the file, the SLT calculator, and open it, okay, you will be asked to enable the macro. Okay, this SLT calculator utilize the macro features in Microsoft Excel, and then they will have some coding involved in this, so you need to enable the macros. Okay, so you just click the enable content, and this depend on how you can enable the content depends on the version of the Microsoft Office that you use. So for the later version, I think 2013 and above, you will be given this ribbon and you have to enable the content. Okay, so when you click the enable content, you can fully utilize or fully use the macro features for this SLT calculator. Okay, before we go into into the SLT calculator itself, I would like to explain to you the content of the main worksheet. Okay, we have the main worksheet, and then we have the SLT example. Okay, this is the example given to you to understand or to play around with the SLT calculator. Okay, for the main SLT main worksheet, okay, you will be given the information about the SLT calculator. So for this one, this is version 1, okay, and the date of this version, and then this particular part, the blue button is the main button that you have to click to add the SLT calculator. And then this is the general equation that we use for the student learning time, or SLT. This is equal to the contact time, okay, or we can call it guided learning time, GL, okay, plus the independent learning time, IL. So the contact time will be, okay, let's say for the lecture, the face-to-face lecture, this is the amount of time, okay, the student will spend with the lecturer. Okay, and the guided learning time, let's say if you conduct the asynchronous online lecture, the amount of time the students spend to watch the video or to watch the recorded PowerPoint. So this is the guided learning time. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, and then the independent learning time is the time spent by the student to self-study, okay, to do their own study, to prepare for the particular component of the courses. Okay, and at this particular point, this is the instruction, okay, on how to use this SLT calculator. So I will not explain the detail about this, so you just need to know that all the information related to this SLT calculator, okay, are given in this page. Okay, how you can enter the data, and then what is the meaning of this particular cell, okay, what's the value here. This is the independent learning. So all of this information you can get from this main page, and there are also some information about the action button that you can click to perform certain action. So all of this information is available in the main page, but in this tutorial I will explain each of this particular information using the SLT calculator itself. Okay, so this one, just if you want to refer back, okay, if you don't know any part of the calculator, you can refer to this section. Okay, now the most important step in having this SLT calculator is to click this blue button. So when you click this add SLT calculator, so you will be prompted to key in the worksheet name. So this you can key in the course code or the course name or anything that you want to name the worksheet. So for me, I want to key in EET 123. Okay, so this Excel will generate a new worksheet and the name is EET 123. So this is the SLT calculator that you can use to key in the information. Okay, I will show you the overall picture of this SLT calculator first, and then after this I will explain each of the component of this SLT calculator. Okay, at this top part, this is where you can key in the information about your faculty, the course code, the course name. Okay, say this is FTKE, and then we have the course code EET123, and then just key in whatever the course name that you want. This is the semester academic session, and then the last cell here is the course coordinator, and you can put the name of your teaching partner or team teaching in this cell. Okay, next part I want to explain to you what's the meaning of each of this row. Okay, we have the conventional online. This is just header to separate the component. Here we have the conventional delivery. So all of this component under the conventional delivery will be under this one. So the conventional here is the face-to-face component, or the one that we usually do okay, without the online learning. And then at this yellow one is the online learning component. So I divide them into delivery and assessment. Okay, same with the online learning, we have delivery and assessment. Okay, the next row is the component. This is the component name. Okay, we have lecture, tutorial, laboratory, and workshop. Okay, this is under the conventional delivery. And then we have the conventional assessment. Okay, under this is the preset component, okay, that we have. And then we have the online learning delivery, and then online learning assessment. So all of these are the component under each of the category. Okay, and then we have the general multiplier. Okay, the multiplier here is the multiplier to determine the amount of the independent learning time for each of this component. Okay, when you key in 1, you can see that okay, at this particular cell here, if it will follow whatever value you set in this cell. Let's say you put it 3, you can see all of this value change. Okay, because this is the multiplier component. Okay, I will explain about that in the next step. Okay, so the next row is the general multiplier range. Okay, in this we have the guideline of the minimum and the maximum value that you can put in this general multiplier. So all of this component, okay, the value here, when I put this, it refers to the MQA guideline as well as the UniMAP teaching and learning, okay, the online learning guideline that the AMC come out during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so this is just a guideline to the value that you can put in this particular box. Okay, so this is just a guideline for you, and this guideline based on the MQA and then the online learning guideline from the AMC. Okay, and then we have the unit. So this is the unit that you have for each of the particular component. Okay, we have here. So the unit can be in hour, minute, number, and pages. Okay, So depends on the type of the component, you can select which unit is more appropriate for that particular component. Okay, and this unit will determine the value that you put in this particular box, okay, the data box here. Okay, for this next row here, we have the conventional sync and async. So this is to identify whether this component is a conventional component, or for the online component we can select whether it is a synchronous or asynchronous component. Okay, so you can select whether conventional, synchronous and asynchronous. Conventional is for the component under the conventional header here, and then for the sync and async will depend on the type of the component that you have here. Okay, and then finally we have the practical and theoretical, because sometimes we need to know, the amount of the practical SLT compared to the theoretical. So by selecting appropriate, okay, let's say for the example here we have lecture, this is a theoretical component, tutorial theoretical, and then for the laboratory this is the practical component. Okay, so when you key in all the value, okay, the data value here, okay, later on you will be given the amount of percentage of the practical versus the theoretical component. Okay, and then okay, the below here we have the week and topic. Okay, we have week 1 until week 19. Okay, it consists of the 14 weeks of the teaching and learning. Okay, and then we have in the middle here we have the mid-semester break, and then the 4 weeks at the end is the study week, and 3 weeks of examination weeks. Okay, and then at this point this is the cell that you have to key in the data. Okay, and this particular cell is the multiplier. Okay, X indicate the information about this one, so X is the multiplier, and I explained before that this X will determine the independent learning of that particular component. Okay, the independent learning of this particular component is given in this cell, and then the SLT component is given in this cell. Okay, let's say we have example here, we have the lecture. Okay, the component is in hour, and then the multiplier is 1. Okay, let's say we have 2 hours of lecture, so what it means as 2 hours of lecture, we have the independent learning time of 2 hours, because 2 multiplied by 1 is equal to 2. Okay, and then the SLT here will be the contact hour, okay, 2 plus the independent learning time. Okay, we have 4 hours total. Okay, so this one, if you select the quantity in, or the unit in hour. Okay, let's say if you want to change it to minute, okay, let's say for 2 hours, okay, in minute is 120 minutes. Okay, so you will get the same result of SLT, but this time the unit is in minutes. The amount of independent, okay, the value of independent learning time and SLT is always in hour. Okay, but this one will determine the value you put for the contact hour here. Okay, so this is for hour and minutes. Okay, we already seen the example. Okay, how about the number and pages? Okay, here we have 4 options. We have hour, minutes, number and pages. Okay, for number, let's say we have the example here, we have the assignment component. Okay, let's say we can do like this. Okay, the general multiplier 3. Okay, we can see, let's say we have we want to give to student 1 assignment in week 2. Okay, we can put it 1. Okay, the 1 represent number of assignment. Okay, and then for this particular assignment there will be no contact hour, because this is the student need to do the job at home. Okay, no need to come and see lecturer for this. Okay, no contact hour, so the SLT will follow the independent learning time. Okay, let's say here you give one assignment in week 2. Okay, let's say you want to give another assignment in week 4. Okay, you put another one. Okay, but at this particular week, okay, week number 4, you know that this assignment will be longer compared to this one. So let's say the student need double the time, so 6 hours. You can change the value here to be 6. Okay, and then you can see that the box here or the cell here turn to red. Okay, so what it means is it's not some error or anything, just that the multiplier here is different from the multiplier key in this general multiplier here. Okay, so by having this method that you can change the multiplier, you can have, okay, different multiplier for different week. Okay, because we know that sometimes the assignment cannot be the same. Some assignment are shorter and some assignment are longer, so you can give different multiplier based on your component. Same with the lecture. Okay, let's say for week 1 the lecture is basically the introduction, and the student just don't need to prepare so much. Let's say for week 6, okay, this is the lecture where the student need to spend more effort or to prepare more, so you can have the same 2-hour lecture, but at this particular point you want to change it, the preparation time, the multiplier is 2. Okay, so you will have different independent learning time and different SLT for this particular week. Okay, and then the next example is for number of pages. Okay, let's say we have assignment here, the multiplier is 2. Okay, let's say we have the general multiplier is range from 1 to 2. Okay, so let's say in week 3 we want to give assignment. Okay, this one is in pages, so we know that, okay, we have a written assignment and we want the student to write at least 10 pages. Okay, so when we have the multiplier 2, mean that the student, for each page, the student need to spend for 2 hours. Okay, let's say for 10 pages will be 20 hours, so we will have independent learning time of 20, and then the SLT also 20 hours. Okay, and this will be the same for all the component here. Okay, when you key in everything, okay, you will get the value at this particular part at the right side of the table. So when you properly key in the information, okay, we can see the total of SLT at this particular location. So to see more accurate data or more relevant data, I want you to go to the SLT example page. So in this particular example, I already key in the data, okay, based on the component. Okay, this is the courses during the COVID time, so we can see that it have a less conventional component and more of the online learning component. Okay, so this is the particular multiplier that we have. Okay, and then for the lab, okay, lab for the first week we have 1 hour lab, maybe some introduction, so the multiplier, the general multiplier is 0.667, and then we have the in week 3 we have lab for 2 hours and so on. Okay, and then for the assignment, we have assignment in second week. Okay, the multiplier is 3, but the assignment is week 6. Students should spend more time, so the multiplier is increased to 5. And then another assignment in week 12. Okay, and then we have the online learning delivery for the lecture in synchronous, the synchronous lecture. We have week 1, week 2, okay, until week, I believe in week 14 here. We have 1 hour of synchronous lecture. Okay, and then this is the independent learning and the SLT. And then we have the lecture asynchronous. Okay, so where lecturer can give the recorded PowerPoint or prepare a video for student to watch. So in this particular okay, based on the guideline, we have if you have 40%, okay, of the asynchronous component will be equals to the 1 hour. Okay, let's say for 24 minutes of asynchronous lecture will be the same with having a synchronous lecture of 1 hour. So this particular multiplier will set so that when we have a 24 minutes, it is the same with having the independent learning time of 1 hour. Okay, and when you add the 1 hour of independent learning with the amount of time students spend to watch the video, the 24 is 24 minutes out of 1 hour is 0.4 or 40%. So this one 0.4 plus 1 hour, we have 1.4 hour. Okay, and then when you key in everything based on your actual planning for the courses, finally you will get the value here. Okay, so at this particular column here, you can see that at the end we have, okay, here this is the practical and theoretical component, okay, in our SLT hour for each week. So this is week 1, week 2 until week 19. Okay, so here we have the total of SLT for the practical and theoretical in hours, and this one is in terms of percentage. So we have 85.5% of theoretical and 14.5% of practical. And then for this column, this is to highlight the amount of SLT for conventional, synchronous and asynchronous. This is the total SLT, and then this is in terms of percentage. And for this particular column, this is for the blended learning substitution. We have material, activity and assessment. Okay, the same, this is for each week, week 1 until week 19. And then here we have the total amount of the SLT in hour, and then this is the value in percentage. And at this particular point we have the conventional delivery. Okay, you can see the amount of contact time, independent learning time and SLT, okay, for each week. And then this is for conventional assessment, and then we have online learning delivery and online learning assessment. And finally at this particular column we have the overall component. Okay, this one is in hour as well. So when you have at the bottom here all of this the SLT in hour, and then at the end here we have the total overall SLT for these courses. Okay, we have 160.9. so for this value you have to divide by 40 to get the credit hour. So 40 is the notional hour, so 160.9 divided by 40, you have 4.0233. so this is 4 credit hour courses. Okay, so the general rule of thumb, if you have a 4 credit hour course, you have to ensure that the SLT is not more than 4.05. okay, Same with if you have the course with 3 credit hour, you have to make sure that the SLT is not more than 3.05. okay, because we don't want to have extra burden for the student. Okay, so we don't want them to spend extra time, okay, for the courses that only offer certain credit. Okay, we don't want, we have a 4 credit hour but we put the SLT to be 4.4, something like that, which is extra burden for the student. Okay, so we have to avoid that. So we have to make sure we follow the limit. Okay, and then I want to proceed with the button that we have to perform a certain action. Okay, here we have the plus button. Here is if you want to add additional component. Okay, this is the preset component, but if you think that you have one or new component, okay, let's say for example we want to add the conventional delivery component, a new one, so we just click the plus button here and put, okay, there you can select from 1 to 4. For the conventional delivery, you just press number 1 and then click OK. Okay, so new column will be added here, and then you can put the name of the component. Let's say for this one I want to put the discussion. Okay, so this is the discussion that you can conduct. Let's say 1 hour discussion, the independent learning needed is 2 hours, so the multiplier is 2. And then if you want unit in hour, you can put hour. Okay, this is the conventional, and okay, this is the blended learning substitution for this, because this is the conventional component, so you just select NA. And this is the theoretical component. Okay, so when you click, okay, you can fill in the data here. For let's say the discussion occur in week 2, you put the discussion is 1 hour, so you will have the independent learning of 2 hours because you have the multiplier of 2 here. Okay, and then the SLT for this component is 3. Okay, so this is how you can add the new component. Okay, if you want to add the component, okay, online learning delivery, okay, when you click the plus button here, just online learning delivery, so this is number 3, click OK, and then the new component will come out. Okay, the same one, you just have to fill in the information in this box, and then it's good to go, and you can key in the value in this, okay, based on the week that you want. Okay, and then the next button that I want to show you is if you want to move your component. Let's say you don't want your workshop to be here, okay, you want your workshop to be at this particular point, so just select the name workshop here and then click this button. You will move to the left. Okay, okay, now it is in the first place here. If you want to move to the right, just click the name of the component and move to the right. Let's say the lab you want to move here, click to the right. Okay, and then the next one is if you want to delete any of the component. Okay, if you think that the component is not necessary in your courses, you can delete it. So let's say the discussion here, the one that you just added here, you want to delete it. Okay, you have to select the component first and then click the cross button. So you will be prompted to confirm whether you want to delete this component, because we don't want to delete any component accidentally. So if you want to delete it, just click yes, and it will delete the component. Okay, so for the delete component, I just want to tell you that the one at the end, okay, of each category, let's say for this one, conventional assessment, the one to the left most, you cannot delete it. Okay, because why you cannot delete? If you delete this one, the name here, the name assessment will be deleted as well. So the trick here, if you want to delete the assignment one, you have to move it first. Okay, you move it to the right side. Okay, and then here only when it is not in the leftmost you can delete it. Okay, so now you already delete the component. Okay, so okay, we finished the top part button here. So we continue with this one. Here we have clear, hide and unhide. Okay, the hide button is when you want to hide this component, the SLT calculation. Okay, because some people they don't want to see all of this detail. Okay, the multiplier, independent learning, and then the SLT calculation. So you can just hide the component. Okay, so the one that you can see is only the data that you can key in. Okay, and then for the one who like to see the calculation, you can unhide it. Okay, this is if you want to see the calculation and if you want to modify the multiplier. Let's say this one, okay, you want week 2 to be multiplier 2. Okay, so you have to unhide first. Okay, if you don't want to see them, just hide it again. And then finally we have a clear button. Okay, let's say you want to reset everything. Reset mean that all of this component you want to delete it. Okay, and want to make sure the credit becomes 0, so you can just clear the component, and then it will confirm whether you really want to clear the component. When you click yes, all of the data here will be deleted. Okay, you can see your credit hour is 0, so you have to key in all your value again. Okay, so this is the button. Okay, these are the button that I added in this calculator to make sure that this calculator can be flexible. Okay, I mean that you can add the new component, you can delete whatever component that you don't want. Okay, and this calculator you can adjust by yourself the multiplier. Okay, but you have to make sure that the multiplier follow the guideline given by MQA and also given by the UniMAP online learning guideline lah, right? Okay, so I think I already covered all the information needed, okay, for you to start using this SLT calculator. So okay, we have note here. This is the information about the term used in this calculator. Okay, so you can refer to this if you have some difficulty to understand. Okay, and then the most important thing, if you need to refer to something, you can refer to this information first, and then if you still cannot understand any part of the calculator, you can always contact me. Okay, this is my email address. Okay, you can email me, and then if you want to give some suggestion on improving this SLT calculator, you can also email me the suggestion. And if I found that your suggestion is good and can be added, okay, possible to be added to the next SLT calculator, I will update it in the revised version. Okay, so I hope this SLT calculator can be helpful for all the lecturer that want to calculate their SLT for their course. And I hope if you have any suggestion, please email to me, and if you have some questions as well, you can contact me directly. Okay, so with that, I think I explained everything, and I hope you can start using this SLT calculator. Okay, with that, I want to thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.